All right, hi class. We are going to be working on finishing up our logos, our monograms, and then do a business card. I'm going to do a demo for the classic horizontal business card. If you want to do yours vertical, go ahead, that's fine. I would stick with this format of 3.5 inches by 2 inches. That's generally what people have done. Now, I've had other students do different sizes, do circles, do squares. You can do that. You can do that. I would just suggest you do a shape that will fit in a classic wallet. Okay, that's what I would suggest. There's a reason that credit cards are shaped the way they are. There's a reason that business cards are shaped the way they are. I think it's a little boring, but there you go. All right, so here we are. I'm in Adobe Illustrator. We're going to do this all in Adobe Illustrator, and we're going to save it so that it could go to the printer. And afterwards, I'd like to talk to you about those of you who might want to send your business cards to a printer. They are getting less and less expressive and expensive, and you can do a lot of 50. You used to have to buy 500 of them. Now you can do much smaller batch. Okay, here's my logo. This is where I've developed it, the JJ and D. I've decided to do, rather than JJ or JJJ, I decided to do Jerry Jankowski Design. All right, so let's start with our actual business card. Let's go up to, I'm going to do Command, I am in Illustrator, so I'm going to do Command N. And again, I'm going to do just the classic normal style. That's 3.5 inches by 2. That's the height. Orientation is horizontal, or as they usually say, landscape. Artboards, 1. Now, if you want to do a back, the front and the back, let's do 2, just in case. Just in case we change our mind. We can always delete it. Bleeds, this is where you do need to put in a bleed. Click, there's a little link here. That means whatever I put in the first one, it'll be fill all of them. So let's do this little arrow on top. Click. 0.125. What is that? Does anybody know what fraction of a inch that is? Not decimal, but fraction. What is that? This is standard bleed in the United States. Okay? It's 1/8 of an inch. Okay? 1/8 of an inch is 0.125. All right? We want CMYK color. We want 300 ppi for high definition. And let's create. Okay, there are my two little cards. All right. So let's just move one over and here we go. I'm going to do Command plus, plus, plus. All right. Now, what I'd like you always to do is when you are working in a document, do your text in a Word document or whatever you like to put your text in. Adobe has their own, different software. I like Microsoft, so I've been using it with so much. So Word is good for me. Here it is, Jerry Jankowski Design, branding, packaging, typography. This is how I sell myself. I also have a card for teaching, which breaks down my teaching and the fact that I have a master's and that type of thing. Okay, this would be for design. This is my phone number. Now notice that there is no dash and there's no brackets around anything. If you want to look contemporary right now, this is the contemporary look. 20 years ago, people put a period between it because apparently that's what was popular in Europe. We still kind of copy what is going on in Europe because we think it's more modern and hip. Right now, it's nothing. All right? I would recommend you not put brackets. That's kind of old school, old fashioned. I wouldn't do that. All right. Jankowski8514 @gmail.com. That's my personal email. It's also my business email. I have so many emails, I want to keep some things a little bit simple. And my website. Okay. What do you not want people to know? Anybody out there? What do you not want people to know? For identity theft, and also just you don't want somebody harassing you. What
address?
Address. Unless you have an office where people are coming there, there is no reason to put an address. Absolutely none. All right. Now, for my school, I teach at Golden West and I teach at Cerritos College. I put those emails here. I do not put my personal email for schools. I don't want them using it. Okay? For my business, this kind of piggybacks as my personal and my business. So what we're going to do is right here, copy all of this, Command C, let's go over here. Type tool, click pull, Command V. Okay, there it is. What I'm going to do now is start the basic styling. All right, I am going to do Command A, that's for everything in here. And I'm going to go up to character. Character is also on the right. Now, because of all the years that I've worked in Adobe software, I get in the habit of doing what was done 10 years ago. That's everything used to be up here in the control bar. Now there's also this area here. So, but sometimes I actually forget this exists, but it does. Okay, so here we go. Myriad Pro is fine. Nice sans serif. Only use a sans serif font, please. One sans serif font. Okay, I want to restrict you so you're more creative. Start with 8 point. Okay, that's a good place to start at. Myriad Pro regular, or see if I got a light in here. We can do light. Light. Let's do light. Light is popular now. I'm noticing even for text, I'm noticing even on the web, some people are using really super light fonts, okay? 8 point, this is your leading. That means the distance between text, lines of text. Let's make this is the default here. Let's do it 8 point over 10, okay? When you say over, that means the point size and then what the leading is. If someone says set it 8 over 10, that means the point size is 8, okay? All right, there we are, okay? Because this is such a small area, I want to get rid of this blue box because it makes it feel like that's going to print, and it's not. So I'm going to go up to View, Guides, Hide Guides. Oops, that didn't do it. Let's see, View, Rulers, Show Rulers, Hide Guides. Come on, Jerry. Rulers, show rulers, guides. Let me figure this out. Oh, it did go off. Okay, I was wondering what was going wrong. Anyway, this is where I like it because then I can see exactly what's going on. And I can start balancing. I do things visually first. I look at it and I say, is that correct? Because I don't have to be perfect with this. I'll fidget a little bit later on. Let's get my logo right now. Let's get that logo. Okay, so let's take the whole logo. Let's group it. Object, group. All right. Command C. Let's get rid of it. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. Okay. Let's just keep this and let's put in the type. Command C. What I'm going to do right away is do 8/10 Myriad Pro Light. Okay, copy, paste. There we go. Now this is for the bleed. The red is for the bleed, okay? That's that 1/8 of an inch, that 0.125. All right, so here we go. Now, if, oh, this little square says I have a little type there. Made it go away. Okay, now if I left it at this would not be terrible, but it certainly wouldn't be good. What you want to do is differentiate, create a hierarchy here. The fact that anything you have on top is the most important thing. Jerry Jankowski design. Let's make it even more. Let's make it even more important. I'm going to do it bold, and I'm going to make it a couple points larger. I'm going to make it 12 point. That's leading, and here is the actual sign. It's a little bit too big. Let's do 9, and all of this type, I'm going to, from 8, I'm going to do 7. I would suggest you not make your type smaller than 7 point. 7 point is kind of small, but you know, we're designers, and I think we can get away with some stuff, take some liberties. I like smaller type. It just, to me, looks more sophisticated. Don't get to the point, though, where you can't see it or read it, all right? Okay, now I'm going to use the type tool. Okay, branding, packaging, typography. I want this to stand out from Jerry Jankowski design. I'm keeping the same font, so what can I do? Oh, I don't know what I can do. I'm being too restricted. I don't like this. Well, too bad. What I'm going to do is make it all capitals. Make it all capital letters. Let's do that. Let's go to character. Click. TT. Okay, there we go. Now, to me, it's too big now. Even though it's 7, I'm going to make it 6. Let's see what it looks like. We're going to leave it for that for now. Okay. It looks like I have some spaces in here, so I'm going to get rid of them. 1, 2. Okay. I'm going to do a return. Or what I'm just going to do right now is I'm going to increase the leading. 12, 13, about that. So notice I'm just doing a lot of this just by looks. Okay, what I feel and look is good. In this, all of this down here, what is the most important of this text? What would you say the most important thing is if a client of mine grabbed this and they wanted to call me? Sarah, what would you say?
Phone number. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. What would you say with these 4 lines? If my client was working on something, it was a tight deadline, and they didn't need to contact me. What is the most important one of these?
The phone number.
Phone number. It sounds obvious, but a lot of people don't realize that, and then they just make it all the same size. Don't do that. Make it bold. Do something with it. Okay? There we go. Jankowski at gmail.com. I'm going to make a little bit of space. I'm going to give a little bit of air to my phone number. And let's make that 12. There we go. Again, this is leading. Play around with it. What I don't want you guys to do is this. I don't want you to do separate, you know, where, okay, you have this line of type. Get rid of this here. And then you do another line of type, and then you do another line of type, and then you try to kind of jimmy it all together. Don't do that. Start learning how to style text properly, okay? Okay, now I want to finish up here. Sorry for this back and forth. There. Okay. I want to put some guides. This probably should line up with the J here. So I'm going to do Command R for rulers. Click on this ruler in the middle, hold down, and pull. There we go. It's a tiny bit off. There we go. It lines up. Okay. Now, I am supposed to be selling my design services. Is this interesting enough? Should it line up on the bottom here, or would that be boring? Is this too big or too small? Let's do one more thing. This white background is bothering me. What I'm going to do is do, again, these are my standard colors, my blues and greens. I'm going to do that this time too. All right. I'm going to click on this green, kind of a minty green. I'm going to click on the rectangle tool. I'm going to go not by the white, but the red. That's the bleed. That's going to get cut off. You need it to go from side to side. Okay? Oh no, everything disappeared. What should I do now? What should I do now?
Arrange it and move it to the back.
Thank you. Arrange, send to back. There we go.
Or put it on a different layer.
Or put it on a different layer. If I would have started, you can start with 2 layers. You could do, this shouldn't be more than 2 layers. It would be text and background color. That would be all you would need. Okay? All right, so here we go. I'm going to click on this. It's too dark. 100% opacity. How about 60? Okay, it's getting there, but I don't like this gray. It looks dirty. Okay, I'm going to select the direct selection tool, click off, click on, because this is grouped now. I'm going to click white. I don't like color in one place, so I'm going to do maybe Jerry Jankowski design. And then I decide, I think I want this to be gray. A dark, dark gray. Okay. And this too. Gray. Okay. Some things I'm not quite sure if I like, but I think this is viable. I'm going to do the back now. Where is that? The back side. Oh, I didn't do it for this one. If I would do the back, I would do it in a solid color of this blue. That's it. Just a solid color of the blue. And here, let's just do it. Layers, artboards. Let's do 2. Okay. Let's see what blue this is. It's right here. And click, pull. There we go. That would be my back, and this would be my front. Now, if I wanted to get a little bit tricky, maybe I would want the logo on the back. Command C. Command V. Okay, what colors did we use over here? Obviously, I can't. Maybe all 3 letters white, or maybe I could make the JJ a very dark gray. And then smaller. I'm going to make this smaller. Put it right in the middle. Okay, where's the middle? Click on this. Oops, it's a little bit off. There we go. There we go. A little bit off again. This is the middle. So, and then do it up a little bit above middle. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to tell you I'm not that crazy about the lightness of this color. So I'm going to have to address that. Maybe this should be gray. I don't know. I'm not that crazy about this. But let's save it for a PDF now. Okay? So let's go File. Let's see. Save As. I'm just going to do it to my desktop. Adobe PDF. Save. Generally do the most recent. If you were actually doing this to be printed, you would ask the printer, do you prefer Acrobat 6, 7, or 8? Now, the one thing you need to do now is marks and bleeds. This is because you're going to have it printed. Okay? 2 boxes. All printer's marks, and use document bleed settings. Because remember we put the bleed in, that 0.125? Okay. So let's save. Let's see if I did it right. Click. Click. And here it is. There we go. So Jerry Jankowski design. Let's see if I have both of them. Because if I don't, that means I did something wrong in saving. Nope, there it is. It's the back, and this is the front. And right here, this is where it's going to cut the card. It's going to cut it right down here. It's line to line, line to line. And these are called tick marks. Okay, so that's where it's going to cut it. I kind of like the blue. I like the blue and the gray. I'm not too crazy about this green. So I would have to go back and decide, you know, try something different. Does anybody have any questions on this?
You did record all this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'd
like to learn this.
Yes. I'm going to wrap it up right now and go to, where is
This was really cool, by the way.
What is?
The designing of the card.
Oh, thank you. You know, I got to tell you, when I design stuff like this for the class, it's kind of stressful for me because I don't want to make a mistake, and I made a couple big mistakes, and, you know, it's kind of embarrassing for me, but it's just the way it is. Just don't let mistakes ever stop you. Just keep going on. If I worked in InDesign every day, and I will be pretty soon for working on a big project, I'm going to go back and learn how to set it up properly and see if I've learned some new things, because there are some new things. And I admitted to you too that I don't really look on the right, and I should. I look mostly on the top bar. Okay? So anyway, let's quit. There we go. Let's call it business card, demo, Adobe Illustrator. Okay.